before that, I
Jersey.
mean, no, before we even get to that point, I'm talking about the beginning stages when I was at the other
Oh
dealership.
yeah, there was a lot of people. You told me every people were coming from out of state
Right.
because their states were shut down.
Right. And then by the time I left that job, went to another one that had a COVID scare, and I was home because again with unemployment, I couldn't get unemployment because I went to the doctors and she said I had severe bronchitis and some stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was deemed high risk. Remember, she said I was high risk, and she said it would behoove me to shelter in place because uh, I was high risk with bronchitis and stuff like that. And I told, and there was no vaccination.
Not at that time.
Right. So we sat home. I applied for unemployment. That never came through. So I had to take a lesser role, had to go back to an old job as a salesperson. And it was that day, September 19th. While in the dealership, I wasn't back to that job, what, more than 2 or 3 weeks? Wasn't more than 2 or 3 weeks I had returned to that job.
About 3 weeks.
About 3 weeks.
About 3 weeks.
Right. That I called you because we had a customer from Georgia. She was from Georgia.
I just remember you talking about this woman was coughing
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't look well and she didn't need to be in the dealership. No one was telling her to leave. And you really felt like everybody was going to get sick.
Right.
And you had the mask, you had
right.
the face shield, the mask, the gloves, you wore at work and everything. And you still got sick.
But remember, the media was putting out there, and even the doctors and everything said it wasn't airborne. And I said, it had to be a lot. It had to be, because they was about, it's just on surfaces, just on surfaces.
I knew it was airborne when that bus driver did that video where he was fussing about the woman that was coughing behind him and he died 2 days later.
Right.
He said the woman stood behind him on that bus, just a coughing, hacking and coughing. And 2 days later, he was in the hospital and died.
Right. I mean, I always said a virus like that had to be airborne for it to be that contagious.
Yeah.
It wasn't just on material. We had people going out wearing gloves. We had people, with hand sanitizer, and people were coughing. And I said, anytime that someone can cough, that virus is on the spittle, it's traveling, people were sneezing. So we knew it was bigger than what the news people had reported. And we had pretty much had in our household put plans together. Like, I would come in, I would decontaminate, take all my clothes off, take a shower,
Yep. I
wash real
sprayed
good
everything down
with
with Lysol.
Lysol.
Your clothes went into a trash bag, which I
Mhm.
brought downstairs and went right into the washing machine to get washed. It
worked for us for months.
It worked. The process worked for us until you came home sick.
Yeah, I mean,
That day you came home sick, we did the same. We did like we always done, but because you weren't showing it, you weren't sneezing or coughing or anything. Like, you just didn't feel well. You were really tired, and I remember that day you were just real tired, and you just didn't feel right, and you took a shower, and I don't even think you ate dinner that night. No. You went and laid down, which I'm like, that was really unusual for you.
Right.
But
I was just feeling this exhausted. I thought it was more mental because of dealing with that whole situation the whole day.
That's what I was thinking.
And selling cars and coming home, and you just tired. Our work week is tiring. So I laid down that Saturday, went to bed, and I woke up the next morning. You said you and Dylan was
we had a low grade temperature, and we had a headache.
Mm-hmm.
But I popped Tylenol, gave him some Tylenol, and we were back to normal.
Right. But with me, then that Monday came where I was feeling a little sore and achy. And
no, Sunday you were really achy because you barely got out of bed Sunday.
Right. And then I came into the living room, and I remember that Monday. You had fixed turkey wraps.
Yeah.
And I told you to make sure you put enough mustard on this turkey wrap because I wanted to taste mustard. And then when you brought it in, and I bit into it and I didn't taste mustard. I started fussing at you.
Fussing at me. In fact, I didn't put anything on you. I'm like, all these years I've been making you something to eat. I'm not gonna leave out the mustard.
Nah, she ain't put no mustard on my sandwich. And then I
opened it up and he saw all that yellow on it.
I said, wait a minute. And I bit it again. Remember I said,
he's like, you don't taste anything. And
that's when your alarm went off.
My goodness, my alarm went off, and I went and grabbed the Vicks Vapor Rub and put it under your nose. And when you said you couldn't smell it, it was just reality just pretty much slapped me in the face because I truly believe I was in denial because my mom kept telling me she think we might have COVID. She think we might have COVID. We need to get checked.
Thank you for tuning into The Bradbys Show with your hosts, Matthew and Candy Bradby. Please subscribe to this channel, click like, and share this episode. Tune in every Monday on your favorite podcast platform for new episodes. If you liked this show, please consider becoming a partner today. Visit www.thebradbys.com for more information. Do you have a question or great show topic? Join us on your favorite social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn today at The Bradbys. And as we sign off, please remember there is nothing more powerful than a made-up mind. A successful relationship is a choice. Goodbye for now.